finish, and he'll be across the line very shortly. Well, that was the second Formula V race for the day. Small gap, and production sports cars are about to launch. Well, here's hoping the guys don't take it too much to heart. All these steel horses and what have you. Production sports cars brought to you by the good folk at WellPro and their host of associate sponsors. Well, Darren Berry got the upset win in that first race after Jeff Fain faltered at just about the last corner. So it was a great run there by Darren Berry in the Ford V6 powered Ginetta. Very smart looking G50 Ginetta. And that's quite a rasp that comes out of the engine note of the Ginetta. Jeff Fain in the big Dodge Viper. He's got more than double the engine capacity of Darren Berry's Ginetta, which is the Ginetta's a 3.5 litre. Yeah, the old Dodge Viper there is an 8.4 litre. So that's not so much an engine as a postcode. Steve Annette in the Chevy Corvette, 7 litres. So it's effectively double the engine capacity of the Ginetta with another half an engine on top to get the Viper. But then you get to the two Carrera Cup Porsches of the Hennig brothers, and they're 3.8 for Wayne and 3.6 for Darren. So they were almost the same as the Ginetta. Ginetta's been slightly too enthusiastic lining up on the grid there. So we've just got the one more, that's the second last race of the day. We've got the Motorsport Zone Supercar Challenge to complete the day's racing. Well, we've got the WellPro production sports cars on track at the moment. Darren Berry in the Ginetta. 2 white cars in the front row of the grid. Jeff Fain's Viper is car that's bigger in every respect to Darren Berry's Ginetta. Chevy Corvette there, the evil-looking all black machine of Steve Annett. The silver and blue Porsche is Wayne Hennig. White, green and black Porsche is Darren Hennig. Graham Lusty is in the white and black Mosler, starting out of position 6. Then we go to the black with pink and yellow trim Westfield SEI of Michael Antonieff. Ron Prefontaine in the blue and grey Mazda MX-5. The black and yellow Mazda MX-5 of Russell Schloss. The red and black MX-5 of John Toomer. Then Henry Van Roden's black MX-5, alongside him another black MX-5 of Tony Ross. One white, green and black MX-5 of Gavin Clay. The two silver MX-5s of Paul Ansell and James Wallace, with Jeff Hume joining us on the rear of grid in his red MX-5. Jeff unable to take part in races earlier in the day, but he's good to go now. Green flag flies, and Steve Annett in the Corvette as thunders away and is taking the race lead from the second row of the grid. Awesome launch there from Annett in the Corvette. Jeff Fain takes chase in the Viper. Darren Berry, our pole setter, has been shuffled back to third. Onto the back straight, and Annett. Magic start there from the Corvette. They break. Oh, and Darren Hennig's gone straight on. He forgot to turn. Oh, dear, oh dear. Darren Hennig forgot we were running the short circuit, didn't brake heading up the back straight, and somehow wove the eye of the needle and didn't hit anyone. All the same, that's a very nervous moment for everybody when. So Wayne Hennig is up in that fourth position now, as Darren Hennig looks to rejoin, although he's shortcut a very large portion of the circuit, but he rejoins at the tail of the field. I think they'll let him go with that one. Annett and Fain, first and second. Corvette and Viper, Chevrolet and Chrysler, followed by the little European Ginetta Ford of Berry. And Berry has a look on the inside of Fain. Sticks the Ginetta up the inside. He's on the outside line for turn 4 though. So you generally have to be further up alongside the car, particularly the car the size of Fain's Viper. Wayne Hennig holds down fourth position, that second group of cars. And he's got the Mosler tucked up behind him as we see Berry having another look. The third placed car there, the Ginetta, had a quick look at Jeff Fain's Viper. Can we have gearbox supercars to the marshalling area, in case you couldn't figure that out? Over Barb's radio is a little bit crackly today. But yes, gearbox supercars, can we have you at the marshalling area for the last race of the day, as our three race leaders duck down into the dipper. Annett's on the wide line, and that gives Fain an opportunity. The Viper gets up alongside, noses in front, and Fain is generally not one to, well, he's always been a forceful driver as Jeff Fain. There was no contact, but certainly that Viper is an intimidating device. Magnificent race car. That Dodge Viper, built to GT3 specification, used to run in the Australian GT Championship in the hands of Ian Palmer. And Famous Fain is doing their job on the Viper today. So he's immediately built a gap on Stephen Annett, and it also seems that with Darren Berry so close behind the tail of the Corvette that the Corvette was actually holding him up, and Annett doesn't fight it actually when Darren Berry tucks up the inside into the dipper, and the Ginetta immediately marshals away from the Corvette. So the Corvette's running under speed now. We see fourth place Wayne Hennig in his Porsche 997 GT3 Cupper, ahead of the Mosler of Graham Lusty. Porsche versus Mosler. Now, behind the Mosler, we'll see Antonov come into sight now that Darren Hennig's dropped himself to the tail of the field, and then we see this enormous flight of MX-5s rounding out the remainder of the field. We're looking at Wayne Hennig running up the back straight before turning into the differ. Going through Snake Gully now. And there's the Mosler disappearing. Antonov crosses the view. Now here comes Antonov. Sorry, that's Darren Hennig. Sorry, no, Wayne Hennig in the Noosa Cat. Noosa Cat Porsche. On the front straight. And we cross back to Jeffrey Fain, who's in second position. Largest competition racing engine of just about any race car in the country there. 8.4 litre V8. So, yes. Dodge Viper there in GT3 specification. Designed and built to be competitive against the latest and greatest of Porsches and Ferraris, running in the GT3 class across Europe and also in the Le Mans 24-hour. So we're now looking a little bit further back in the field at the pointy end of the Mazdas, and Ron Prefontaine is being chased down here by Russell Schloss's black and yellow MX-5. Third of the Mazdas is Jeff Hume, who's climbed through from the tail of the field to be third place amongst the MX-5s. So Jeff Hume doing a superb job there. So there's Prefontaine in the lightweight MX-5. 15 laps this race here, so we'll be at this one for a little bit. We're effectively at 1/3 race distance. Well, there's Ron Prefontaine, the slower of the two cars that run out of the Prefontaine family team. The other car is John Prefontaine's Lotus Exige, which has a supercharged Toyota 2-litre 4-cylinder, although we haven't seen that car in a while. And we look back towards Darren Hennig, who's working his way through the field. He's just picking off Michael Antonov. So Darren Hennig now is into 7th position in overtaking the little black, pink and yellow Westfield. Back with race leaders there. Darren Barry was coming across the shot. Barry's holding second position, and that's not making any impression on him. Same way that Jeff Fain's been moving away all day there in the Big Dodge Viper. So here's, well, certainly from Fain's perspective, that he doesn't fall back into the clutches of Darren Berry did like he did in the previous race, but we're not yet at halfway, so there's certainly quite a bit of time left in this race. Berry, the giant killing Ginetta G50. And a very impressive drive in that first race, mowing down our race leader. So Barry fires through turn 1. And oh, here's this gaggle of MX5s. Tony Ross and Gavin Clay at the front of that group. And there's also, well, they're actually just been caught by Darren Barry here. So they've already been lapped by Fane's Viper. It might be Paul Ansell who's the third car in that pack. It makes sense if Clay's in the middle of it. Those two seem to be inseparable on the bitumen. So there's Berry out of Snake Gully. So Fane clicks off another lap. And Berry crosses the line as well. And follow Berry's Ginetta around. 10 laps down, 5 to go. So Barry being held up here behind Henry Van Roden's MX5. Finally gets through, makes some progress. Now we've got a car parked out on the circuit. It's John Toomer's Mazda MX-5, a visiting car from Interstate. Now just looking, oh, that's on the entry to turn 6, so hopefully that doesn't cause some dramas. There is Jeff Fane has just lapped Jeff Hume. So Fane is ripping through this field. He's lapping into the top 10 now. It's the 10th placed MX-5 that he just went past. Fane down into turn 6, has a look up the inside of Russell Schloss, gets the car lap down, so Fane onto the front straight. 3 laps remaining. Fane moves up to put a lap on Ron Prefontaine, and these are the last of the Mazdas. Gets underneath. So under brakes. Looking across to Snake Gully from the other direction. And there's the Viper. Coming into view through turn 5. Onto the hangar straight. So Jeff Fane's Viper has been sort of tooling around a bit. His fastest lap on this shorter version of the racetrack was a 55.5. He's drifted from that out to 56.7, which is the same sort of lap times that Darren Berry's doing. I hope Famous hasn't timed it too late like he did last time, and Berry was able to get by. And oh, we got a spinner exiting turn 4, and that's Gavin Clay. Sorry, turn 5, I should say. So Clay gets back underway. He was in 14th position, and I'm not sure that he's lost any spots there, actually. It was at the back of the group that he was fighting for positioning. So the last lap board's about to come out here, I think, for Jeffrey Fane. And yep, there it is, last lap board. And the Dodge Viper is told that he has 3 kilometres remaining. Not a lot happening out on the track at the moment. The field has spread themselves out quite a bit. So As Fane tips it into the dipper for the final time. There we go. Their distinctive snarl on Wash V6. One of the headings comes by the tower. Here we go, final corner here for Jeff Fane. Well, he's made up for the previous race. He threw it away with a corner to go, but this time, as Gavin Clay goes bush in front of him, this time Jeff Fane gets the win. Darren Berry home for second position. I think Gavin Clay's had a last lap puncture, so Clay regains the circuit so we can cross the start-finish line where the timing beacon is. So Fane gets the win. Darren Berry home for second position. Looking down upon Darren Berry's car, and it doesn't appear to be a puncture. The car seems to be, well, mechanically dead. There's no noise coming from the car. Third place has gone to Stephen Annette in the black Corvette. Fourth place went to Wayne Hennig. Darren Hennig, after his spin, recovers to finish in fifth position. Well, not a spin. He went straight ahead at the dipper on the opening lap of the race. Graham Lusty has come home in sixth position. Michael Antonieff home for seventh.